Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beatley Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video. In today's video, we've got something a little bit different. We've got an eyewitness account of Paul's gig in Melbourne, Australia, which I think was on Saturday night. And we've got here a friend of the channel and subscriber, Boyan, who's going to tell us all about it. He also he bought a VIP package, so we're going to be able to talk about the VIP package and what you got from that, and generally get a feel of what you're getting on this tour. So very excited to do this video. I was amazed to see just how young Boyan is. I know that most of the people on this channel are sort of around my age or whatever, so it's really refreshing to have a young Beatles fan on the channel. And let me just start off, Boyan, by just asking you how you became a Beatles fan or a McCartney fan.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was about 6 years old, and me and my mother had gone around to a friend's house for tea, and I think it must have been after dinner. We were just sitting around talking, and my friend's dad went and put a CD on, and it must have been the One album or something. The
Right.
first song that played was "Love Me Do," and I think that hooked me ever since then. Much like the rest of the world, I think that was the hook that got us.
Yeah, so that's really interesting that after all these years, you're getting into them in the same way that people got into them back in 1962. That's
Yeah,
fantastic. Just to let everybody know, we were speaking just before we started recording, and Boyan is just 20 years old, or years young, if you like. So that's fantastic. So where did it go after Love Me Do round at your friend's, your mum's friend's house?
Well, I think as soon as I remember after that, I got the Beatles Rock Band for the Xbox 360, and I probably didn't know all the songs when I got the game, but I remember me and my mum would sit around and we'd play, and then I think I just slowly built up an understanding of all their music, and it just grew the love for the music as well.
Amazing.
Mm.
And did you then go on to buy all the albums, or get all the albums, or did your parents have any of the albums that you were able to sneak into your own collection?
When my uncle actually had do you know, like the bread box looking
Yeah,
CD box set from the 80s? I think that
yeah,
was 87 maybe. Um,
yeah.
he had that, and he was generous enough to do a little burn of all the CDs for me. So I was able to have my own copies that were played non-stop. I do have a memory of taking one to school and getting a teacher to put it on for me on a
Mm,
Friday afternoon.
yeah,
Which,
fantastic.
yeah, I don't know if everyone else appreciated, but I certainly did.
Yeah, so that was when that came out, the thing with the bread box. That was when the Beatles first went all new and shiny on CD.
Yeah,
So
uh,
uh,
basic.
when I got into them, we were still buying records and
Yeah,
stuff.
I prefer the records. Actually,
Yeah. So you buy vinyl now, do you?
yeah, I'd say I'm a record collector before a CD collector, really.
Mm, yeah. And I guess that I mean, I can see all the stuff that you've got around in your room. Presumably, you make the same progression that we've all made. That once you've got the Beatles in your life, it's never quite enough, and you kind of move on to the solo stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I moved on to Paul McCartney, and I haven't moved off him very much just yet. That's been maybe an 8-year venture that I'm still working on.
Yeah. So would you say that you're mainly a McCartney fan as far as the solo careers go?
Yeah, for sure. I've got all his albums on vinyl. I'm just looking for one more now, which is the Off the Ground album. Is ever elusive to me.
Yeah, it's expensive to pick
Mm,
up now. I
definitely
was
is.
I was lucky to get one think a year and a bit ago.
Right.
I had it on CD, you know, from when it came out, but yeah, they are difficult to get because they're so expensive, so expensive.
Yeah.
Hopefully we might get an archive collection of Off the Ground, and it'll be released again on vinyl. So just quickly, favorite album, Beatles album?
Oh, probably Sergeant Pepper. I think I just love just everything start to finish is so cool. I think.
And favorite Paul solo album,
Oh, it's
or Wings, or anything from that, you know, post Beatles period.
I think which way am I going? This way. Memory Almost Full.
Right. Okay.
I reckon that's a strong album start to finish, and I did go through a period of having Driving Rain as my favourite, which some people would be distraught about, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fan of Driving Rain, but a lot of people don't like it. But I think that, you know, you, it took a long time for it to drop with me.
Yeah,
You know, I kind of gave up on it, you know, after a few plays, you know, and I kept going back and going back and going back, and eventually it finally dropped.
yeah, I'm
And it's
still.
funny because you've got stuff on there like something like Rinse the Raindrops, and which is obviously, you know, he's kind of making it up as he goes along in the studio, like he did on the Fireman album, you know, Electric Argument, and that album is, you know, very highly regarded by
Yeah,
fans. And if Rinse the Raindrops had been on Electric Arguments, I always think fans would say, "Oh, what a fantastic track." But now it's, you know, it goes on too long and blah 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 and all that sort of stuff. It's I'm kind of I feel like I'm kind of getting a bit of a bonus here, because I do want, obviously I do want to talk about the gig, but I'm really always really interested in young fans that are, you know, that discover, you know, that have discovered the Beatles and have become, you know, serious fans. How does your Beatles fandom sort of sit with your mates who presumably are kind of mostly into contemporary stuff?
well, yeah, my friend, one of my best friends is well, he likes more of the rockier stuff, I suppose, than the poppy Beatles.
Yeah,
uh, he likes yeah, just not my kind of music. But I think he has an appreciation for the Beatles and Paul McCartney. I did try and drag him along to the Paul
yeah,
McCartney concert, but he wasn't interested in the kind of seats we were getting. He's
yeah,
not that big a fan, so
yeah. So who did you go with?
I just went with my mum. Because no one else was going to buy a ticket, so I bought two for me and her just as a treat.
Nice, nice. And your mate, is he into sort of classic rock, or is he just, you know, just contemporary rock?
Kind of Van Halen, kind of
Okay,
70s
so sort of
rock.
80s, 90s sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the gig. So presumably this was the first time that you'd seen Paul live.
Second time,
Oh, it's
actually.
the second time. Did you
Yeah,
go in 2017?
yeah, he did the One and One tour here, and I saw him on the second night at Amy Park.
Is that Melbourne?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
sorry, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
too far from Marvel that it was at this time, but it was better. It was better at Marvel, I think, for sound.
Yeah. And what sort of venue is Marvel? Is it a stadium or is it an arena?
Yeah, it's a stadium, so we'd have it for well, generally it's got Australian rules football playing
Okay.
there, so it's
Okay.
got I think that's what they use it for. I'm not a big football fan, but
Right.
it's,
Okay.
you know, it's got yeah, it's a 50,000 capacity arena, so yeah, not a bad choice. It has got a roof on it that unfortunately was closed during the concert. I was a bit disappointed about.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Been nice to see the stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Also, sorry. I also want to really thank you for coming on, because I realise it's very late for you right now.
Well, it's just past midnight, but I'm happy
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah, that's really great of you for making time to come on. So, talk me through the announcement of the gig.
Mm.
How exciting was the announcement, and how you made the decision about was it a complete no brainer? I'm definitely going to this, or did you have to think about it? Because obviously, these are it's expensive anyway. Even if you're right up in the gods, it's expensive to go to a McCartney gig. But to do the VIP package is a huge expense. So
Yeah,
tell
sure.
me about your sort of thought process around that.
Well, yeah, it was Frontier Touring, I think, put a thing up about sign up to our mailing list, and I think Paul McCartney might have put up the same thing, and it had that the cloud decor that they've got for the Got Back tour on his
Yeah,
shirt, and
yeah.
I remember scrolling down on the page on the link, and it had MPL down the bottom, and that was the most exciting day.
Yeah,
And so I was signed up for the emails as soon as I could. And I think when you press submit, it took you to another similar looking page, but it had the words "got to get you into my life." And so it was like the anticipation was building. And I kind of knew I was going to go no matter what. But I think deciding to buy the VIP seats, I kind of had a week or so before the announcement, and then another week before the pre-sale started. So it was a bit of a well, I had some time to think, but once I was set on getting the tickets in the VIP section, it was just like, yeah, I gotta do it. Like, I don't care how much it costs. It
yeah.
might be the last time he comes. So if it is, I'll be very happy that was something I chose to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're never going to regret it, are you? It's
Absolutely not.
just fantastic. I mean, I've done it once. I did it once. I went to Stockholm, and
Mm.
I saw him there, and we did the VIP package. So, did you? Was it? How difficult was it to get tickets? Was it fairly straightforward, or was there any panic around it, or um,
I do have a bit of a story, if you don't mind me
yeah,
taking
go,
a bit of
go for it. Go for it.
so it was, I think it was either a midday or a 4 p.m. I think it was a 4 p.m. Pre-sale that I got onto. So I'm there's a phone provider here called Telstra,
Mhm.
and I missed out on that pre-sale because I'm not with them. So it was very I needed to get on the Frontier Touring pre-sale. So I had me and my mum in the lounge room. We both had a Ticketmaster open on our phones, just ready to get in the line at 12 or 4. I think 4, and we got in. I was, I think, 1,000 and something in the line, and she was about 3,000 back. So we knew I was in first.
Mm.
So I got in. I clicked on the premium hot sound, which was the front 2 rows, and it said no seats found. So I freaked out and had to go. Went back to try and find regular hot sound, and I clicked on it, and I managed to get. I think it was section A2 row H, which would be the eighth row.
Mm.
Seats, I think 23 and 24. And then I was looking at the map with my mum as this is going on, and I was saying, "Should we get them? Should we get them? Should we get them?" And she goes,
Mm.
"I don't know." And then as I went to press purchase, the 2-minute timer ran out,
Oh, right.
and
Okay.
so I lost the tickets that I'd just
Oh,
managed to
yeah.
procure. So I did storm off to my room. I was very angry.
Well,
Uh,
I bet. Yeah.
with the indecision between the two of us. And I sat there and I was clicking away on my phone just to see if they'd released something or if someone else had dropped their tickets and I could pick them up. And
Mm.
about 5 minutes later, because my mum was unwell this week, by the way, so she was calling in sick to work. And I was in my room and I clicked one more time and it said section A2, row C. So in the third row, this is much better. Seats
Yeah.
25 and 26, so it was an aisle seat as well.
All
So
right.
I was very. I remember I walked into the lounge room and she was on the phone, and I went, "I've got third row tickets," and she went, "Yep, buy them."
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And where in sort of row C were you in proportion to the
Mm.
stage? Is that in the middle, or are you sort of on uh Brian Ray's side or on Rusty Anderson's side, or whereabouts were you on the stage?
Yeah, so the sections went A2, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So it was just across the front. We were A2, which was second from the right, so in front of Brian Ray, and we were just between. Oh well, we were at the end of the aisle, just before the start of A3, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So the section in front of Paul McCartney, we were just before that, which was really cool.
Yeah, really great seats, amazing seats, fantastic. So, tell us what you let's talk about the VIP package.
Yeah.
So you turn up sort of in the afternoon for it.
Yeah, we got. I think the email said that check-in started at maybe, I think it was 4, and we got there at about 2:45 because people had said get there early. And I think we started being let in at about 3:30. They gave us the lanyards and wristbands, which I've got the wristband here, which is.
Show them up. That's it. Very nice.
I don't know. I might have the lanyard if you just give me a second.
Yeah, go for it. Hello, Paul.
That's the lanyard we got.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, really great. Really great. And did they give you any other swag?
Not at this point. That did come a bit later. I suppose we'll get onto that as the story goes. But,
Okay.
So we were let in, at about maybe 3:30, and it was at gate 1. So we walked in, and there was like a little bit of not a waiting room, but just a hallway as you went towards the normal path around the stadium. And we all stopped there, waited for everyone to be let in, and then they led us straight to the arena. I was expecting to go, because someone had said in Adelaide they went for drinks first.
Yeah, there was some sort of Q&A thing as well, wasn't there, in Adelaide?
Yeah. So there was a Q&A on the Tuesday, and the concert was on the Wednesday. You had to win some competition. I think you had to ask a question on video, and it was not something I entered because I don't think I had the money to fly to Adelaide and then fly back.
No.
Just about Adelaide, I would have liked to have been there because that was only an 8,000 person venue, which would have been a really intimate gig, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the there was an eyewitness video that done on the Two Legs channel. I don't know if you watched Two Legs.
Sometimes, but I'm not sure if I've seen it. I've been very preoccupied at the moment.
Yeah, sure. And maybe a bit of no spoilers just yet.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear anything. I just wanted to, get on there.
Yeah, no, I get that. So they take you into the stadium. Where did they sit you for the sound check?
Yeah, sure. So I think I'm not sure exactly how many rows a section is, but say it's maybe 27, maybe up to 30 rows. And we were just behind the first section of seats, all the A reserve seating, and so we were probably, I don't know how many meters back, but when we walked in, it was just Wix sitting there on the keyboard, which was really cool.
Yeah, all right.
No one really seemed to notice him. Like they weren't. I don't have the confidence to shout out at a concert or anything, but I expected someone to shout out to Wix, but no one did.
No. How many people would you say were in the sound check, in the audience sound check, roughly?
I was pretty surprised because I'd read that in the US got back VIPs, there were maybe 75 people there, but I reckon there could have been up to maybe 200 people at the sound check here.
Yeah, I reckon that was about how many there was when I did it in Stockholm. Probably about that, and they sat us right back as well. I didn't really understand why they just didn't let everyone sort of sit in the front, but they sat us back as well. So Wix is on stage, and then the rest of the band come on, or?
Well, we had I can't remember their exact name, but the horn section.
Yeah.
They were on next, and they were quite cool. I think because they're a lot younger than everyone else. They're all on their phones and they're filming each other, and it's cool to see them with that.
Right. Okay.
And then I think Rusty Anderson came on, and he was just checking out a guitar that he was going to play later in the night, and he gave a wave to the crowd, which was nice. And then all of a sudden, Paul McCartney's on stage about 10 minutes later. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's I can kind of remember like the first time that I saw him live was 1979, which was the Back to the Egg tour,
Yeah,
the UK tour, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm actually breathing the same air as Paul McCartney out of the Beatles. It's a great moment when you see him, you know,
mm,
in the flesh. So how did it go once Paul came on? I've got I mean, did they get straight into the gig, or did they do some, you know, when they do a sound check, they can't, they test each instrument separately.
yeah.
Usually,
So what he did, he kind of, I remember he got on the microphone. Now my memory is a bit blurry here because I was just so excited, I think.
yeah,
But I remember he said something along the lines of, "This is just where we test all the instruments," like you said, really.
yeah,
Um, and he said, "Yeah, we'll do a few songs and we'll have a bit of fun." So it was all very exciting when they started, and then um, yeah, I think his custom painted Gibson Les Paul.
yeah.
That was the first instrument to come out, and the person standing next to us went, "The Hofner, the Hofner," and I went, "No, no, not quite."
No, yeah. That's the one that he always play. You always tell when they going to do "Let Me Roll It" because he always picks
Mm,
up that. That's usually the first time he picks up that guitar during the gig. So the set here we've got instrumental jam, Honey Don't, Honey Hush, One
mm.
After 909, which is an interesting pick.
I thought that
He
was
always,
really cool,
he
actually.
always does a sort of a mix
Mm.
of covers and original songs. One After 909. How was that?
That was really cool because the night before, me and my mother had gone to Marvel Stadium just to have a look around at all the signs and everything that were going up.
Yeah,
After that, we'd had. So, do you have IMAX theaters in the UK?
yeah, we do. Yeah.
We've got one in Melbourne, and they were doing a showing of the rooftop concert, like the 1 hour
Ah,
special.
okay, okay, yeah,
So it's cool to hear that the night before, and then have him play it in the sound check. It was
yeah,
really good.
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Coming up back in the set, and then Women and Wives from McCartney 3.
Yeah,
So
that was
that,
really cool.
yeah, how did that sound?
It sounded good. I think it was probably more suited to his voice because it's a more recent album, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But I don't. It probably wasn't a crowd favorite because it's not a Beatles song. It
yeah,
was Yeah, it was
yeah,
probably not everyone was singing along, but no, I thought it was good for the deep dive fans that like the
yeah,
newer stuff and the older stuff.
yeah. I mean, all us old fans, we, dying for him to do something off the ground, or driving rain, or something like, some of these deep cuts. But he does tend to flood the set with, with Beatles songs.
Yeah,
He then did Miss Anna, Little Richard cover. I don't really know that song, to be honest. Then you got Sea Moon.
that was really good. My mother doesn't like that song, but I'm a huge fan, and just to hear him play it was awesome.
Brilliant, brilliant. And then From Me to You.
Yeah, that was when he got back off the piano and pulled out. I think it's his Martin D28. I think was at that point.
All right, okay. So, then he did a Buddy Holly cover. It's So Easy. And then the thing that when I first pulled off this set list, the thing that blew me away, the next song that he did, Ram On
Mm.
/ Big Barn Bed.
Well,
Oh,
that's very contentious, actually.
is it? Is it?
Mm.
Go,
So
go on.
So I remember turning to my mum and I said, well, when he started playing Ram On, I said, "Oh, he's doing Ram On," you know what I mean? And then when he finished, he did that "Who's That Coming Round That Corner? Who's That Coming Round That Bend" part from the Ram On reprise. But
Right.
everyone's been calling it Big Barn Bed.
Oh, so he didn't actually do Big Barn Bed
No, he
as
didn't.
ah. I'm gutted.
Oh, no.
I'm I'm pretty sure that he hasn't done that since the the 1972
Yeah.
European tour. I don't
Okay.
think he's done it.
Mm.
I've never seen him do it, and
No.
I thought, oh my god, he's done he's done Big Barn Bed. That must have been amazing. So that's disappointing to hear, because I've seen him do Ram On
Mm.
at least once.
Mm.
Then he goes on to Midnight Special, and then New. So
Yeah.
New. I think on the American leg of the Got Back tour and Glastonbury, I think
Mm.
New was in the main set, so that's dropped out now.
No, so that was that, and I think the last song you did was Lady Madonna in the sound check. They were both in the main show as well.
Oh, they were. Oh,
Mm.
okay. Oh, okay. It's unusual because normally he does. Normally the songs that he does in the sound check are normally not
Yeah,
in the main
yeah. I'm
the
not sure
main.
if it's to maybe there's something with that magic piano he uses that they need to get
Yeah,
right. Maybe it's the sound effects on New, or I'm not
yeah,
sure.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. So that was it, and then you go off
Well,
at, at
could I interject for a second, Tone?
yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you
I'm
can.
not sure if you skipped a song.
Oh,
I was really looking forward to on the during the concert was Celebration.
oh, right. Okay.
I don't know if you mentioned that. Maybe I missed it.
No, I
Um,
did. Sorry, I did miss it.
okay. That was after he. I can't remember what the 4 songs he did on the piano were, but it was the last one he did on the piano. Um, and I said to my mum that that was like the one song I wanted to hear, but he'd only done it 3 times, I think, during the American leg of the tour. And then he started, and I remember looking at her, and I was like, "Oh, how cool is this?" But he forgot the piano part a few times,
Oh,
which was
did he? Did
yeah.
he?
And at the end, when he finished it, he went something like that, or we almost had it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was just a really cool song to hear, because I wouldn't have expected him to have ever done a song off Standing Stone live. You know what I mean?
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
really good.
No, that's he does sometimes do that though, doesn't he? He sometimes pulls these songs out of the fire that you just don't, it catches you by surprise. You normally you kind of, you can guess what, 80% of the set is gonna be, and sometimes he just pulls out something out of the fire that you just weren't expecting.
Mm.
And it looks like he did that in the main set as well, which we'll come to in a minute. So anyway, so that's the end of the sound
Yeah,
check, and then you troop out again out of
yeah.
the
So
stadium. Yeah,
I was shocked, actually. So he said that's the sound check. Um, I'm sure he said it more elegantly than that.
yeah,
um, but yeah, so then we were escorted out. But it was so odd to me that he was still on stage talking to the band, and we were leaving him. I'm like, this is not how it's meant to happen. He's
yeah,
meant to play, and then we go. Like,
yeah, yeah,
felt wrong to leave Paul McCartney.
yeah. He didn't. Him and the band didn't shout, one more song or more. Bring you all back on again.
I wish they had, because that was been
Yeah,
even more exciting. But no, we were then escorted out to a function room after that for
right. Okay.
yeah. So they took us or not upstairs, back up the stairs to level 1, where we had the function room, and off to the side there was a secondary room for the merch tables that had no lines pretty much.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, that's when I bought my merchandise. I didn't want to wait until everything was sold out.
Okay. Let's have a look at your merch then. What did you get?
Well, we'll start out with I bought 3 T-shirts. They're not ironed or anything. I apologise.
That's all right. Oh yeah, very nice. That's the sort of standard sort of. And is that right? So it's just got the Aussie. It's
Yeah,
got the Aussie, Brazil, and is Mexico. Yeah, Mexico as well. Yeah,
yeah, Mexico in the
the
middle there.
whole second leg.
Yeah, it's it. And then I got it's a very similar shirt, but in white and a little bit more colourful.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's got
nice.
some dates on
Got,
the back.
got the dates on the back.
Then we got this one's a little bit different. I just wanted it because it's different. It's from my mother for Christmas, actually, so I'll have to put it away after this.
Right. Oh, nice. Very nice.
Mm.
That's lovely. What's on the back there? Got back tour 2023. And is that all I can't quite see. Is that all the dates underneath again?
Not the dates, just the locations.
The locations. Okay.
And then just to top that off, because I don't know about you, when I buy things, I like to have a copy to have and a copy to save. So we got 2 copies of the tour book.
Ah, right. Okay.
And,
Nice. And
something.
just out of interest, has the
Mm.
tour book still got the page about the archive collections in it?
I haven't looked through it, but I'll look through it now. If you want to cut this out in editing,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
have a really quick look for it. It's got very cool photos just for your interest there. I think that's
Yeah,
good.
nice, nice.
I'll have a little quick look through for the photo.
So I know on the American leg in the program, it had a thing about the archive collections, and at kind of at the end, it sort of said, look out for new archive editions coming soon, or something like that. And that was over a year ago.
It's got the McCartney 1, 2, 3.
3, yeah.
Cool. I'll keep having a look. It's got the Eye of the Storm, or Eyes of the Storm, I should say.
So it's obviously been updated.
It's got the 7-inch singles box information in it.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping it's still got the.
So am I.
Oh, it's got Glastonbury in it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hang on. There we go. It does still have the archive.
Go on, hold it up.
So you can see down the side on my.
Yeah. Oh, does it say anything about it at the end there? Does it say look out for more?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Let's look. Keep an eye out for news of what's coming next at paulmccartney.com.
Okay, so we're assuming that is still alive.
Yeah, well, we hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
That's good news. That's good news, I think.
Mm.
Okay. Now, what's next? The main gig?
Well, no, we had dinner. I don't know.
You're at the merch store. You bought all your merch. Then what?
Yeah, so then it was just kind of find a seat at a table. There was no allocated seating or anything. But no, we had a really nice. It was 3 courses. There was an entree, a main, and a dessert. Maybe I'll send you the photos if you want me to email them through to you. I've did take photos like an Instagram girl or something. Yeah, I did. Me and Mum were the ones at the table photographing everything. And yeah, so we had the 3 courses, and then we got to pick up the merch bag that they gave to the VIPs, which I have got. Well, if you want to see the contents of that,
yeah, let's have a look at your swag.
I personally, me and my mother both agree that how you can get the diamond package or the gold package.
Yeah,
I reckon they had better merchandise actually than the hot sound and premium hot sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got towels and drink bottles. But what we got was, so we got this, like, it's a magnet. It's like a commemorative ticker.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I think it's quite cool. In the barcode on the side, it has got the Hofner there, which is quite attractive for me. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we got this, it's like a wine cooler kind of carry.
Okay.
Well, you can see that.
Yeah.
Opens there.
Yeah.
It's got Paul McCartney got back on the bottom there.
Nice.
And then this is a towel, which I've not opened because I fear I won't be able to get it back together. But
that's very nice. That's really nice.
I say towel, I didn't mean to say blanket, sorry.
Yeah.
Which is, it's got a tag that says, well, it was made out of drink bottles, I think, but it's very soft. You wouldn't know it.
Oh, really? Really?
And then I got, well, it's just a carry bag, really, but it's
nice.
And filled with the confetti from the cannons at the end, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, right. From the bits at the end, yeah.
I figure
What is that? That's the very end where
Yeah.
like,
End of the
when it
concert.
all finishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we got when I did it. I think we got a rucksack.
Mm.
Uh, I think there was a like a drinking bottle and some guitar picks that
Okay.
that had well, I can't even remember what tour it was actually, but it had
Was that
Paul
the Live Aid tour in
out
2015?
there. Yeah, it had Paul McCartney out there tour. It was just like it's like they just there's probably about 5 or 6 different picks in there.
Mass produced.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone just grabbed a load and put them in the bag, I think,
I know the one-on-one tour. I've I've done a bit of post-tour purchasing of bits and pieces, and they got
Yeah.
sunglasses from the
Sunglasses.
one tour,
Oh,
which I haven't
okay.
worn them. I refuse to wear them, but unless I can get a second pair.
Yeah. Oh, you don't wanna break them.
No, that's right.
And is that it until the gig started? Till you
Yeah, that
went
was
back
it.
to the
I
gig?
think you had to go and get where did I put the armbands down here? You had to get an X put on your armband there, and that
Oh,
was
right.
their way of saying that you'd picked up your VIP bag and you were sent on your way.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was a little bit rough actually, because by the time we'd gotten out, it was I think about 7:10 for a 7:30 start,
yeah,
and yeah, it was just like go and find your own seat. I thought they might have taken us down because there were just masses of people, but I suppose that would have been very difficult to have told people to get out of the way for the VIPs. Like,
yeah, yeah.
you wouldn't be too pleased, I don't think.
No, no. So you take up your seats,
Yeah, well, we
and
we
you
found a few friends, that we'd seen the day before when we went to check out the stadium.
yeah,
They were sitting so we were in row C, they were in row B, they were just in front of us and to the right, so we walked up together.
yeah,
Yeah, took our seats, we sat down, and I just remember so it was DJ Chris Holmes, as the last few tours have been,
yeah,
and, yeah, we were listening to him for a little bit, and they had the graphics on the side. It was like going up a house, and in all the windows were different Beatles photos.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And yeah, then he went, and somehow the music kept playing. I don't know if he's got it on CD or what the go was there, but there were people actually online complaining about Chris Holmes' set list at the start.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought surely not. Like
No.
people, so there's a train station right next to Marvel, and
Yeah,
people they were singing along as they walked to the stadium, which I thought was really nice. But
yeah,
some
yeah.
apparently don't like that.
Oh, so it's human nature. People
Mm.
will complain about anything, about anything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Okay, so
but
there was a like a pre-show film.
yeah, and then when the film ended, it was the same on the one-on-one tour. This end bit, I don't know about the video at the start, but it ended on like a graphic of the Hofner,
Mm,
and then it all went dark, and Mr.
yeah,
McCartney took the stage, which was just yeah, being because you were so much closer than at the sound check, it was just like a whole other thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, that close up.
yeah. You can see the sweat on his brow.
That's right. I
Yeah,
think and yeah, I think a lot of the people in the front row were going, yeah, just nuts. They would have done anything to get hit with a bit of the sweat that he wiped from his
yeah.
forehead.
Were there lots of people holding up signs and stuff?
Well, not too many in front of us because there was it sounds really up myself here because there was only 2 rows in front of us.
Yeah,
There were
yeah,
many people holding signs. I think they were more concerned about just sitting and watching for well, we were all standing actually. We stood for 3 hours, which I
yeah,
was but yeah, no, there were people behind us with signs, and he did take some time to read the signs at one point. But funnily
yeah,
enough, no one got called up on stage like he used to do. They didn't do it.
yeah, yeah. He doesn't do that so much now, does he?
No, he didn't do it on in 2017 when he was here either. Actually, maybe it's maybe he doesn't like Australians.
I think it's just a thing of the past. I don't think he's been doing it for a while. People used to go up, he used to sign their arm, and they used to get a tattoo done. and that sort of stuff.
I think
I've seen other bits and pieces on YouTube where some young girl went up there who played bass, and she went and played bass on a song, and all sorts of fantastic stuff that he does. So the first song, "Can't Buy Me Love," always a tricky one. Always a tricky one because the vocal comes in on beat one, and it's always a tricky one. How did he sound?
Well, I remember I was sitting there waiting for it because I knew during the sound check, I think during Celebration, he sounded a bit, because it's quite a high song, or it's meant to be. I think trying to get up there was a bit rough, but so I was eagerly anticipating the start of the concert. And I don't know about you. Have you ever tried singing "Can't Buy Me Love"? It's
I've tried, but not with a band, but you know, just
along
trying to singing it along with the record. Is that? I mean,
somehow it must have been just the excitement. To me, he sounded just like 1964. Like it was just he started and he was there, and he sounded great to start. I thought. I know in 2017 it maybe took him a few songs to warm up. I think, maybe the past year off's done him well, because he was in on beat 4 before the next bar, and he was just sounded great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Really,
I've always, well, not always, but since he's been older, I've always thought all the gigs that I've been to that he takes about 5 or 6 songs to really get his vocals going, and it does take him that time. But once he's in, and but with that song, I mean, "Can't Buy Me Love" is such a hard song to start the set off with. And the videos that I saw of him on the first leg of this tour in America, he was really struggling with it, and I was kind of dreading it when he came to do Glastonbury. I was really dreading it because I don't know if you know, but Glastonbury here in the UK is broadcast live, so it's not just it's not first of all, he's not playing to to people that are on his side for a start, because it's not just Beatles, McCartney fans that are in the audience at Glastonbury. It's people that have come to see all the bands, for the whole festival. But the fact that it goes out live on TV, and I thought they're going to absolutely crucify him, it's going to be terrible. And when he did get back at Glastonbury, he was just on it, and I thought, wow, this is different. He is on it, and he just carried that through. He was fantastic. And the sort of the reports that I heard from Adelaide, and it sounds like it was the same at Melbourne, that something has happened. His voice is good, and this is not just fans saying it. This is like the media saying that, how does it, at 81, Paul McCartney still sounds amazing, and all this sort of thing. So it's fantastic. So it's great that you got to see him, not at his peak, but he's putting on he is 81, and there have got to be some allowances made. But one thing that you absolutely know is that for 3 hours he's going to give it everything that he's got, and that should be good enough, really. And whatever you say about how his voice is now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with his bass playing or his guitar playing or his piano playing. He's still absolutely on the money with that. So "Can't Buy Me Love" was brilliant. The crowd go crazy at the end.
Yeah, well, I think the crowd didn't stop going crazy for about 3 hours. It's really, we were just loving him. And I am, from the vocals on the first song, you knew he was in. And I know my mother even said he sounded better than when we went in 2017, which I agreed with. He just sounded brilliant. I was very impressed. And you just couldn't fault him for the whole show. There was a few times maybe a high note he wouldn't hit, but he wasn't far off. It still
Yeah.
It didn't spoil the show at all, which I
Yeah.
was very happy with.
And was there a sort of, did you get the impression, or maybe it's how you feel as well? Did you get the impression from the an Australian audience that they were just so happy that he'd come to Australia
Oh, yeah.
to do this?
Yeah, I think just you could just see, like, everyone was dancing in the front rows, and when he, had a call out, he did, like, a section by section kind of give us a scream kind of thing.
Mm,
Just
mm,
like when he asked for the people at the very far back, it was just a roar. Like, you it was, like, indescribable how loud the place was.
yeah, yeah.
And,
Sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. So from there, he goes on to Junior's Farm.
that's a favorite one of my favorite Wings songs. I was
Yeah.
so excited to hear that, and he hadn't done it on the previous tour. I think the night that I was there, he did maybe Save Us instead,
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
and so to hear Junior's Farm was really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And he does the edited version these
yeah,
days.
nothing about the president or any cement.
No, no, no. And he goes and then Letting Go from
Yeah,
Venus and Mars. Fantastic song.
it
How
was
did
even
that?
it was just so cool having the horns there, like because last time, obviously, Wix did all the horns, but having a horn section there just made
Yeah.
it it was just so much. It felt so much fuller and bigger than anything. Like, it was ridiculous, and they were in the crowd to start. Actually, they were in like yeah, maybe level 2 in the
Oh, yes, yes. I think they did that in America as well.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
was. I remember pointing to my mum, and she didn't know what I was talking about, and I was like, "They're over there." Like, it was really cool.
When he did when he 'cause because he started off with the same 3 songs at Glastonbury,
Mm.
and people on Twitter were going, what's he doing all this shit? Why isn't he doing Beatles songs? Why? And like all the McCartney fans are like, fantastic, he's doing Junior's Farm and Letting Go. Yeah.
I
It's,
do remember the Glastonbury gig. So I'm not going to pay for a VPN, but I tried to get the best connection I could, and I clicked
yeah.
on. I got maybe 2 minutes of the whole gig. I got to,
Oh,
and the other, yeah, 2.5 hours. I was just watching Andrew Dixon actually watch the gig live, and I was
oh,
going
right.
his reaction, how good he sounded, and I think we are all very impressed with the Glastonbury gig. He definitely had his Glastonbury voice on in Melbourne.
Yeah, good.
Mm.
That's good to know. I know I did a video review of
Mm.
it, and I had all these clips that I just basically recorded like bits of the gig,
Yeah.
on my phone from my telly, just, and I wanted to include them in the video. And when I tried to load the video up, YouTube wasn't having it.
No.
I was just I didn't expect it to be able to pick up copyright on a live version, but it did. So I had to cut all those bits out. It's really annoying. But then we get, I think, the first surprise
Mm.
uh, of the evening, and he plays "She's a Woman,"
Yeah.
which I'm not sure that he's ever played that live before. I can't. I don't
He
think I've seen him
around
play it before.
I think it was 2004 he did it,
Okay.
and then, yeah, when he did it in Adelaide, apparently that was the first time in about 19 years that he'd done it.
Okay. And how was it?
Oh, that was awesome, like, to hear it such a like, that's it's not probably not a deep cut, you know what I mean? But to hear a
Oh,
B-side played in the first 3 or 4 songs, you know what I mean? That's really cool.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I was a bit nervous because that's not an easy song to sing either, you know what I
Gonna
mean?
say, yeah, it's not an easy song, is it?
But no, he did it really well, and I think the band, just because 'cause they're so tight, like, anything is gonna sound just brilliant.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, he pulled that off really well.
And Got to Get You Into My Life was next with the Horns,
Yeah, that
presumably.
was yeah, I think they were back on stage at that point, but Yeah, that's another. That's a great track off Revolver. I think I was
Yeah,
I was really pleased to hear that because that's been one of my like when I listened to gigs. I think he was doing it in 2009 on that.
mm,
What was it? Was it City Field? Maybe he was playing it at, and I
yeah,
thought he pulled it off well there, and he did again on the night. I was really happy to hear that, and
yeah. He,
and yeah,
sorry, go on, carry on.
I was just going to say the trumpets just elevated the song to the levels that it was at in
Yeah,
1966. To have it, yeah, in front of you was something else.
yeah, yeah. When I saw him in 1979 for the first time, that was the opening song. So that was the first song I ever heard him play live.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Then we go. So Egypt Station, Come On to Me. What do you think? What do you think of that song for a start? You know,
Well, me and my mother have conflicting opinions on this. I think
right.
she finds it a little bit pervy for a 80-year-old man.
I'm with you. I'm with your mum on this.
I,
It's a bit. It's a bit weird. It's a bit
yeah,
weird.
I do get the criticism there, but no, I do like the song. Um, I like. Well, I know I was a bit surprised to find out because I've been kind of looking up all the songs and all that since. Apparently, didn't play bass on the studio version. That was Brian Ray.
All right. Okay.
And seeing it live, it was good to just have a few from each station. You know what I mean? To kind of bring everyone up to the latest couple of albums. Even though he
Yeah.
didn't have a McCartney 3 track, I know he did. He did the Women and Wives in the sound check, but
Mm.
apparently, obviously, you're not allowed to film in the sound check. I'm sure it was the same for you. Um, but he did Find My Way in Adelaide.
Yes, I saw that. I was just going to mention that. Yeah.
So jealous. I would have loved to have heard that.
Yeah. Better song than Women and Wives, I think. But
Yeah, I think it was the better because that was the single I think that came out
yeah.
in 93, or at least it says it on the sticker that you got with the album.
Yeah.
That would have been a better choice, perhaps, for the sound
Yeah.
check.
It's interesting that he still keeps the two Egypt Station songs in the set because he does have this habit now of if he goes out on tour to support an album, a new album, he tends to do a few songs from that album,
Yeah,
but they never stay in the set. I think New is the exception to the rule.
yeah,
But how far back do we have to go with this set to see, a song? Well, Dance Tonight, I suppose. Dance
that's
Tonight was song 16 from Memory Almost Full. That's the only survivor from that
yeah,
song. He does tend to he does tend to drop
quite.
uh, songs from new albums fairly quickly. He does the tour promotion and.
Yeah,
They're lucky if they ever see the light of day again. But I guess 5 years later, he's still playing songs from Egypt Station, which is interesting, I guess.
yeah. I do find it interesting because he was in 2017. He was still doing, like I said, "Save Us" from New, which
Yeah,
it was cool to hear it. But, just interesting that he'd kept it in for so
yeah,
long. I think that was gone by the Freshen Up tour.
yeah. I think it kind of lends itself quite well to live performance, I suppose.
Yeah, especially at the start because it was like the second song. And it's quite a
Yeah,
rocky start.
yeah, yeah. Okay, where are we? Let Me Roll It. Let Me Roll It is next, with the Foxy Lady ending.
Yeah, that was good as always. I think that's that with the Foxy Lady outro that's got to be one of the longest surviving
Yeah,
tracks. I think.
yeah.
He
I can't remember when he started doing that. But
no
yeah, he has done that the last few times that I've seen him. Then Let 'Em In.
no sorry you've skipped one. I think
Have I? Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, getting better, getting
that,
better.
that was
How was
very cool.
that? How was
That was,
that?
well, obviously a Sergeant Pepper's song, so I was very pleased.
Yeah,
It was well, that's another story. My mother didn't know that was a Beatles song until about 10 weeks ago or so when I was playing the, US, not soundtrack, sorry, set list on Spotify, and, so I was very happy to hear, Getting Better. That was, like, another one that he's brought in fairly recently.
Yeah, and was it well received?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not as, well known, I wouldn't say, as,
No.
which is probably strange having come on to me just before Let Me Roll It, and then another not too known one afterwards. But I
Yeah,
think everyone who was in kind of my area, because 'cause we'd all been to the sound check, you think that's where, like, the die-hard fans are, so we all knew it. We were all really
yeah,
enjoying ourselves. Same with
yeah,
Come On.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then down onto Let 'Em In.
Yeah,
Good to see that back in the set.
yeah,
Probably also benefited from the having, the live horns on it.
yeah, for sure, and I think that was I couldn't tell you for sure, but it was one of the first songs that I remember having the screen at the back because there was quite a few that didn't have it, I noticed.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, no, that was good because it's got all the drummers in the background and, um,
Yeah, oh,
you have
yeah, yeah, I remember, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you have to remind me, that was used in an advert in the UK, wasn't it? And
Let
the
'Em
ta
In. Yes, it was. It was. I'm not sure if it was the Wings version, though.
Okay.
I think it's a guy called Billy Paul did a cover of it,
Yeah,
and I think
okay.
that was used in an advert, and I can't remember what it was advertising now,
I just
but
remember seeing the tweets about that during the
oh,
class.
yeah, no, I know what it is. It's the we got this we got this thing here called the postcode lottery
Yeah,
where
okay.
and I think it was for that. And
You're
they were
right.
kind of using someone's knocking at the door,
Mm.
they're knocking on the door to come and tell you you've won the lottery sort of thing.
Yeah, okay,
It's
that's
different to the national lottery that we
mm.
have here. It's done on I don't even know how it's done, to be honest, because I've never entered it, but I think it's there's a winner in each sort of postcode or
Yeah,
something
okay.
like
That because that's, I know that someone's knocking at the door. We had on the radio, they were giving away lots of tickets to the gig, and, they had it's a bit cheesy, I suppose, but they had, a game, I suppose you can call it, called Paul Knocking at Your Door, and when
right.
you had to hear this, like, knocking sound, and then you'd call in,
Okay.
and that was the I suppose that's where they got the inspiration for the game.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then My Valentine. No,
Oh,
I
that was
I heard he made a cock up in Adelaide,
Oh, did
and
he?
I think he almost announced that he wrote it for Linda.
Oh. He is in the bad books, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he probably got it in the ear when he got home.
Oh, yeah. That was, I was reading I think it was the Age newspaper. Someone did a review of the concert, and they said the one misstep McCartney made was keeping Johnny Depp in the film for the, My Valentine,
Uh,
scene, which I don't know, I don't think it bothered too many people who know that it's the music video for the song.
yeah, that was playing behind the band? Yeah,
Yeah, so they
not
had yeah,
while they were doing it.
him and Natalie Portman on the back, and then the 2 screens on the side had one of each.
Okay, okay. And then track 11, 1985, one of my favourite
Me too.
songs. Yeah,
That's just brilliant live too, I think. I think as it kinda swells at the end to the 3 chord finish, I suppose, no, that was probably one of my favorite, on the piano songs. Um, and the lights show for that was quite cool as well. I remember green lights, throughout most of the song, which, really good, and he sounded good on it as well.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I mean that's the sort of song that I would say is a deep cut. So how was
Yeah,
that received with the audience? Did most people seem to know it or not know it or
I'm not too sure about that one. I think because it's probably not so much a get up and dance song. I think by
Yeah.
this point, I had a few senior citizens in front of me who'd sat down by this point, which I'm not complaining. I had a much better view at this point.
Uh-huh.
um, but you know, I don't think it was poorly received. I think overall, I think every song was received well because everyone appreciated that it was Paul McCartney that they were singing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm, mm.
Uh,
Um, what about so maybe I'm amazed. Maybe I'm amazed. The song that he has struggled with vocally in
yeah.
recent years. How did that go?
Well, I think hearing it live, I think his voice sounded really good. I think that's something a lot of people have said, that I think hearing him live and hearing him on recording is just a different thing. I'm
Mm,
sure you felt the same. So you know, he sounded really strong. I thought, uh, even when it was just him and the piano at the start. But you know, by the time the band came in, I think they probably turned the music up a little bit and turned the voice down a little bit, and so
mm.
the kind of
Yeah,
overshadowed in point. In points,
yeah.
I should.
And maybe he's getting like a lot of help from the band on
Yeah,
that.
I know
Uh,
Abe does a lot of the higher vocals, which
mm,
probably helped him a little bit. But you know, I thought it sounded really good. I've got a few videos of that song, so I think it's a really, well, it's probably one of his best of all
yeah,
time.
yeah. My favorite McCartney song. My
Mm.
favorite version of it is the Wings Over America version, which is just
Yeah, the single that that's really good, isn't it?
it's just fantastic, fantastic. Um, I've just seen a face.
That was
That
good.
yeah,
I was well, I know because last time I think he kind of alternates that and We Can Work It Out.
yeah, yeah,
And I was probably happy to have I've Just Seen a Face because it's probably lesser known.
yeah,
And that always makes you feel good when you hear the lesser known stuff.
yeah. Did they do the guitar intro, or they just went straight into the sort of the strumming part?
No, they did the guitar intro. I think Rusty played the guitar intro, but yeah, that's not to say that Paul couldn't have done it. I was saying to my mother on the way to work tonight, I was very impressed with Paul's dexterity for an 81-year-old.
Mm,
Like, he's just incredible. Like, I
yeah.
don't know, arthritis in those fingers.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I mean there is that, and the fact that he never leaves the stage.
Mm,
He doesn't go off and I remember a few years ago he used he always he always says the same things in between songs. But after about 5 or 6 songs, he's always wearing his suit. He takes his jacket off and
mm.
he says that is the only costume change in the whole set. But the thing is, he never even you don't even see him take a drink during the set. I mean, he's up there for like best part of 3 hours. It's just
He did
incredible.
actually. He took one drink,
Did
actually.
he? Did
I thought
he?
I can't remember exactly when it was, but I think maybe when he was given the ukulele for something, or he was
Yeah,
getting an instant change at some point. And yeah, I remember him taking, it looked like it was Powerade or something on the screen. I think it was pink. Um,
yeah.
it was the one sip of water, and it wasn't like he was sitting there chugging a bottle or anything. It was just a
No, how does he do it? I don't know how he does it.
nah,
I
me
don't know
either.
how he does it. He is an incredible human,
It's
incredibly talented human
mm,
being, but he's obviously very, very fit.
oh yeah,
Um, you know, for his age. Um, in spite of all the danger,
that
what
was that. Obviously, that was really cool to hear the
did he do
first Beatles
the story?
song.
Did he do the story about the
Yeah, he
acetate?
did the
Yeah,
5 pound acetate that they made.
yeah,
Duff kept it for 20 years and sold it
yeah,
back for quite the profit.
yeah. um, I'm not sure that I mean, there must have been a lot of people in the stadium that had probably never heard that song. I would have thought.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't remember the crowd singing along too much with that one, but
No,
well, not until the when he finishes and then he does the whoa 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 part when he
yeah,
gets it back in and lets the crowd do it.
yeah,
you know, I think he definitely he seemed to be enjoying himself when the crowd sings his songs like that.
Yeah. I think I'd rather see something else in the set though than
I
that.
I think maybe well, I don't know what percent of the, crowd is, like, first time, attendees. I think it's probably good for first time to
Yeah.
hear the story and then hear the first song, but I think, yeah, once you've been once or twice, it's probably you get ready for something else.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. On to Love Me Do.
Obviously received very well, I think,
Very well, very well. And then the mandolin comes out for Dance Tonight.
yeah, that was very good as well. Abe in the background,
Yeah,
Paul, again, as he always does, thanked him for his choreography,
yeah,
um, which I think you'd have to do because you get quite bored sitting up there with your drumsticks in your hand, and you just have to kick the bass drum for
yeah.
2.5 minutes.
He's just on the kick drum. Um,
Mm.
was there any sort of in between song banter during the gig that you hadn't heard before?
There was maybe I'll tell you when we get to the song because it was
Okay,
kind of
okay. So Blackbird and Here Today, is he up on the sort of the
yeah,
rising rostrum? So he's just on acoustic guitar and on
yeah,
his
just
own for both those songs, yeah?
yeah, and he was so he went up during Blackbird, and then there was a bit of yeah, talking to the crowd between songs as he told the Here Today story about
Mm,
if there's someone you love, don't wait too long to tell them because you might not get to tell them. And
mm,
he pointed out to a sign in the crowd that said "John lives on in our heart," which I thought was quite nice.
mm.
Um, but yeah, no, they were. I thought that he performed them very well, considering it's just him and a guitar. And he
Yeah.
manages to keep his voice sounding very good.
Yeah, that's good because yeah, like you say, he's obviously he's very exposed on those two songs, and they're both difficult songs to sing as well. I think.
Yeah, I think because he goes into the falsetto a few times on
Yeah,
here, which he
yeah,
didn't always do. I know he used to power through, but
yeah.
I think that yeah, the falsetto works quite well for him now.
Okay, good, good. So then new,
Knew it for the second time.
yeah, for the second time. Was it better? Was it better the second time or the first time?
I think the second time, just having the crowd around you and it feels like you're
Mm,
all together. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
my mum prefers that to Queenie Eye, which is the alternate.
yeah.
So yeah, I was
Yeah,
happy to.
I mean, it's a very catchy song. I
Mm.
think it's kind of one of those songs that that you don't have to know to like it.
Yeah,
Do you
it's very
know what
upbeat.
I mean? Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then Lady Madonna again.
Second time, yeah. That was well, yeah. Again, probably better just having the. I don't know if it was that everything is up louder because there's an entire crowd there or what, but it just feels like you're in it. I think you'd probably know what I mean. It feels like
Yeah,
you're watching the whole thing.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was one of those times seeing him on the magic piano, like, looking over, and I kept saying to my mum, I kept going, "That's Paul McCartney. Like, that's the guy I've listened to every day. That's
I,
him."
I know, I know. It is a very sort of emotional and maybe overwhelming in some cases sort of uh scenario. I
Yeah,
think.
when
I
he
think.
came out, I know when he started "Can't Buy Me Love," um, well, I told my mum I wasn't gonna tell anyone about this. It was rather embarrassing, but I had a proper little cry.
Yeah, well, it
Mm,
is an emotional thing, and
yeah,
you know, um, when you when you see someone that you love that much and have
mm,
loved for so long, and they're there and they're standing in front of you and they're doing the thing that you love them for, it's a fantastic experience. It is a fantastic experience, and it brings all sorts of
mm,
emotions. And we've seen emotion from Paul as well.
yeah,
When he's doing things like here today. The performance that he did in the Amoeba gig,
yeah,
stuff like that, where it kind of it gets on top of you, and you know, this is the fantastic thing about music. This is how powerful pop music is, and it's brilliant that it can do that. It's brilliant that it can do that to people
Yeah,
of
for sure.
all ages, of all ages. Okay, let's move on before we get the tissues out. And For You is next from Egypt Station. Sort of a similar reaction to sort of
Come on, Snake.
Come On To Me as far as the crowd goes. Probably some people knew it, some people didn't know it.
Yeah, I think it's another one that my mother doesn't like me playing too much in the house because she
Yeah,
thinks it's weird again, where it sounds like he's swearing and he's not. And,
yeah.
um,
Do you have to show her the spelling on the sleeve?
well, yeah, actually, so this is maybe a bit cheesy again, but before the concert, I started it out with saying 8 days a week because there were 8 days before the concert,
Yeah.
and then every day we do another little song that referenced how many days were left or something, and she did
Nice.
"fart you," but spelt it like "for you," and I said,
All right. For You, right? Okay. Good game. It's a good game though. It's a good
yeah,
game. Um, Next up is Jet.
yeah, that was another good one. I was because he didn't do that on the first half of the American leg of the tour,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
glad included here, and that's another one me and my mother both like.
yeah.
And it was just because I know he did it in 2017, but uh, somehow it feels like you're hearing everything for the first time when you're not. Because I was in the nosebleeds the first time, like
Yeah.
I reckon there was maybe a row behind me, and that was about it.
Oh, really? You really were right at the back then. Right at the
Mm.
back.
I was
I can't actually remember a time when Jet wasn't in the set. Uh,
no,
I
it's
can't think. I don't think he did it in '79 when I saw him for the first time, but I'm pretty sure it's been every other time that I've seen him, and I've done 22 shows now, so I'm pretty sure that Jet has been in all of them. But
yeah,
that another one that must have been benefited from the live horn section.
I think during the Armata part, I think they came in more for that than anything else. But it was definitely probably a crowd pleaser just because it's another one of those like Save Us. You know what I mean? Even if you don't know it particularly well, it's kind of real hard rocky kind of as far as Paul McCartney goes. It's very well received, I'd say.
Good, good. And then being for the benefit of Mr. Kite, another Sergeant Pepper song. So you're happy about that.
Yeah.
Um, how was it? Because
Well, that's
he hasn't done this too often. I mean, this is really a
that's
John song, isn't it?
yeah, that's right. Um, Well, that's probably one of my favorites off Sergeant Pepper, actually. So to see that, I was obviously very pleased. This is the song I was saying that I'd give you a little story about before, that he added an extra story in.
Go for
Um,
it.
so he was saying that towards after the touring years of the Beatles, he the song would be put together, someone would do something, someone would do something else, and then he'd put the bass part on at the end. And he said, this next song is one of those I never thought I'd have to do live, so the complex bass part wasn't going to worry me.
Right. Okay. But presumably, I mean, how did it sound? How did it sound? Excuse me. You don't really associate it as being this. You wouldn't listen to that song and think, "Oh, this would be great live."
No, it's not that
It's not
kind
that
of
kind
song.
of song, is it?
No, but I remember I've seen like videos of him in previous years doing it, and his voice kind of flattens on this song. But when he did it live, it sounded like he sounded really good, and the whole song sounded good. I think Wix's keyboard, uh,
It's obviously key to this song.
yeah, the magic he pulls off on the
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
he's got two keyboards. I noticed one down the bottom, one up on a stand. On top
yeah,
of that, he must have been going nuts on this. But
yeah.
everything, the bass part, the guitars, it was just great. And I found the screen at the back to be particularly attractive with all the
Mm,
circus tents and that kind
mm,
of thing.
mm. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, we're going to talk. This is the emotional one. Something.
Well, that was obviously that was one of the ones the first time I saw him that was probably one of the favourites, and he pulled it off again very well. Gave the George ukulele story, and yeah, when I remember when he started, because you never know how it's going to go, because it's kind of a high song, and he goes back and forth between singing and his falsetto again. But no, he did it really well. And then when the band comes in, it's just elevated again. Like a lot of these songs, things just elevate them, and that the whole band coming in to celebrate George, I suppose. It was just nice. And same with Mr. Kite. The screens at the back were just the photos of him and George are really touching.
Nice. I've seen him do something both ways, where he's just done it on the ukulele, which I think when he first started doing that as the George song, he just played it on his own on the ukulele. Okay. But my God, when they do, when he starts it off on the ukulele, how they do it now, when the whole band comes in for the solo, and the pictures of George go up behind the band. It is just such a powerful, such a powerful emotional moment. I think the first time that I saw that definitely had something in my eye. I don't know what it was, but it brings so much to that song, from going from that really sort of quiet. Talk about light and shade. I mean, that is the epitome of it, really. I think.
There's something nice about an 80-year-old man singing about one of his best friends.
Yeah.
Himself. I think that's really sweet of him. And then have the full thing like it's off Abbey Road, you know what I mean? Like it's just really, and it all comes down on you at once, doesn't it? Once they're all in.
Yeah, it does. It's that moment where the band suddenly just come in, and it just whoa. It's fantastic. Obla-Dee, Obla-Da, not everyone's favourite song.
I think, well, it seemed to be everyone's favourite song on the night. That was much, a few other songs when he stops and lets the crowd sing.
Yeah.
Tell you, I sang so loud, I reckon he could have heard me. I was just so excited to, like, it was just to have the whole sing-along going.
Yeah.
On loop, I suppose. It was, it was just the best.
It does really lend itself to, audience participation, and it's such a an amiable song, I suppose. It's it's obviously it's very it's very well known, and it's very, very catchy as well, full of hooks, and I'm sure it went down really well. Okay, now we're getting to the business end of so we're starting to get into the side two of Abbey Road. You Never Give Me Your Money, and She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Now, he's done these before, just alone on the piano. How did he do it? How did he do it this time? Was it a full band experience?
Yeah, so it was everyone starting on You Never Give Me Your Money. It was a bit of a strange start, I suppose. It was almost like, when he goes into the out of college money spent part on the album, it was kind of that walk down bass line part into the out of college section of the track, which was weird because he said it was one he'd never done in Australia before, so I kind of knew what it was going to be because I'd seen it on the American tour. But it was really good, and his ability to play the bass line of that while singing is very impressive as well. I know I was particularly impressed with She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, because that was it's a really good Abbey Road song, obviously, but I'd heard him do it years ago, not live, obviously, but he did it with Too Many People. He did those sequentially. And just to hear him change it up to You Never Give Me Your Money first, that was really good.
Good.
Just a addition, I suppose.
Good. And okay, so now we're into the sort of the last sort of section, Band on the Run, obviously really popular song.
Mm.
It again quite difficult to sing in
Yeah.
place. Did he do well with it?
Yeah, I thought he did really well. Maybe it's the band singing the well, not the Band on the Run parts, but maybe, yeah, some of the, when he's began to settle down and his voice kinda goes up and comes back down
Yeah,
really fast.
yeah.
I don't know if
And
there was
sort
more.
of the rabbits on the run bit where he kind of goes into that sort of,
Yeah,
the throaty sort of
yeah,
vocal.
really high end of his, range.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, particularly for that part that you've mentioned, I think the rest of or maybe Abe at least came in to kinda give him some, lift on that.
yeah,
But I do think sometimes the crowd was so loud and the music was so loud that he could have been, not singing and you wouldn't have noticed because he was just, yeah, so loud. But,
mm,
I thought he managed, really well. Like, yeah, start to finish, he did really well, but even in the more trickier songs like Band on the Run, he just managed to keep on top of it, like, I suppose a
yeah,
60-year veteran should, you know what I mean?
mm. Imagine having, that many great songs that you don't have to end your set with a song like Band on the Run.
Yeah, I
You've
know, I was.
got you've got that many fantastic songs in your locker, you don't even have to leave it till the end.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I was thinking about, during the sound check, how he did Coming Up. I thought, surely that's one you've got to do during the concert, like, that's such a huge that was a US number 1, wasn't it? I think,
it
the
it
live
was,
version,
the live version was, yeah, yeah.
and it's in the sound check, like, that's crazy to me. But
Yeah, yeah. But that is one song. We were talking about new songs that tend to disappear out of the
mm,
set fairly quickly. That's one song that really did stay in the set for a long
yeah.
time because he did it. The first gig that I went to in '79, he played Coming Up, and it hadn't even come out as a record. Then it was a brand. He introduced it as a brand new song that you won't know, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Uh, and
wow.
that's been in his set for a very long time.
Yeah.
But Get Back,
That was, I felt like he should have finished the first, set of songs with that because it's the Got Back tour, but,
yeah,
no, I think it was good, especially another maybe it's because I didn't see the screen the first time because I was on the wing up
mm,
high, so I kinda just saw the band. Um,
mm,
that was another one where the screen at the back really lent itself with all the new Get Back footage as well from
mm,
the documentary. But, that was really popular, I think, among, the fans, just being Get Back, you know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
a
Do you think the song has grown even more in stature since the Get Back movie?
I think so, yeah, because it was one of the rooftop songs, whether you'd seen the documentary or you'd gone to see the
Mm,
rooftop concert at the cinemas, um, yeah, I think it's just everyone kinda knows it, and so you've got 50,000 people singing "Get Back" alongside Paul McCartney. It
yeah.
was, it went down really well.
And it's also for me, it was also that the part in the Get Back movie
Mm,
where they he literally creates a song out of nothing before your very eyes. And it kind of reminds me of the story that Paul always talks about when he's at Dustin Hoffman's house and
yeah.
they're asking, can you just write a song just like that? And he comes up with Picasso's last
Yeah,
word. Dustin Hoffman says to his wife, look, he's doing it, he's doing it, he's doing it. And that was like when I was watching the Get Back film, that was
mm,
exactly how I felt. Oh, but look, he's doing it. He's actually writing a song, right?
yeah,
Off the cuff. And this is amazing. And all he's doing is he's just strumming the
mm,
bass like it's a guitar, to get the rhythm. And they conjure up this song between them, and you just see it happen. That is
yeah,
the magic happening. It's
yeah.
fantastic. Okay, song 30 is Let It Be.
Yeah, that was another good one, I think. I think it was back on the grand piano at that point. Um, and, you know, it was cool because I remember just looking around, like, I took the time to turn to, because you know that all the phone torches are coming out. And,
Mm,
yeah, it was like the roof was open. It was a sea of stars out around
yeah.
the stadium. I think I got a photo of the stands, I suppose. But yeah, even I fell into the trap. I put my, phone
Yeah.
torch on. You just can't help yourself.
No. Well, you don't want to be the odd one out in your row, do you?
No, that's right.
People might think you're not into it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
this is one of the staple songs that we know is always gonna be in the
mm,
set, and we kind of understand the reason why. I mean, apart from the fact that it is a fantastic song,
mm,
but, you know, if you've seen Paul a number of times, you've probably seen him do it a number of times, but
yeah,
if you're seeing him for the first time, he's gotta do
yeah, it's,
Let It Be and Hey Jude and, you know, all these songs that we've seen him do loads of times. Well, we understand that. Live and Let Die, another song that has never really left the set.
I've
Uh,
got complaints about that though. I think, that is another one that lends itself very well to the live performance.
yeah, and you got all the pyro.
Certainly did. I was a little bit disappointed because Marvel Stadium's got the roof on,
Yeah,
they take it off.
yeah,
Didn't, and so there was no, you know how sometimes they've just
yeah,
behind the stage on the ceiling or on top of the roof, they've got the fireworks going off.
yeah, yeah.
There wasn't so much of that, but, you know, there was still the fire on stage where it really,
You can feel the heat from it, can't
yeah,
you?
believe
Yeah,
how hot it made me. Like, I had to check I still had my eyebrows after he'd finished.
your
Um,
hair
yeah,
should have been more of your an issue.
yeah.
If that
Um,
lot goes up, you're in trouble.
I
Uh,
know. Stop, drop, and roll, as they,
yeah.
you know,
Uh,
that one. But he did struggle on the, got to give the other fella hell a little bit.
yeah, of course, yeah. It's a
Um,
it's a
yeah, I think the
tricky
rest of the
note. It's
band,
a tricky note.
yeah,
But, Hey Jude to end the set as we expect. Presumably did all the, uh,
yeah, the
just the boys,
ball.
just the girls, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he did all the usual, antics, but I didn't realise last time, and I suppose you don't see it so much in concert film because they show the crowd more than anything, but the band was loving it. I didn't know
Yeah.
that they had so much fun. Like, Brian and Rusty were out, like, as far as they could come, and they were
Ah,
swaying their arms, and that's
brilliant, brilliant,
them
yeah,
getting into it really got everyone else into it, I think.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think during that, I saw some of the people we'd had tea with earlier on the backstage, which which was really cool. I didn't manage to get up there. I don't know. Maybe I'm not very photogenic, but no, we saw quite a few people we'd yeah, met up with earlier in the day on the screens, which I was very pleased for them.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
Mm.
So off they go.
Yeah, and
Did they keep you waiting long?
I reckon maybe 3 minutes, I'd say.
Oh, really? That's quite quick. They
Yeah,
obviously wanted to get home quick.
yeah. Well, he did go for 2 hours 50 minutes by the end, I think. So they came back on with I think Paul had the Australian flag, Wicks had the Union Jack, and I think Rusty had the Pride flag. Um,
Yeah.
and I think I got photographs or maybe footage of the swaying of the flags. I was a bit surprised they didn't have the Ukrainian flag like they had previously.
Yeah. I think that on the US leg, they took out
Mm.
the Ukrainian flag, didn't they?
Yeah, but
The
so
way
yeah,
the world's going at the moment, they'd have to have they'd have they had more flags to wave than they got people in the band. They have to get the roadies involved the way it
yeah,
is at the moment. But yeah, yeah, always do the flag thing. Now
yeah.
on this list, so the first encore song, I've got a feeling it
Mm.
says with false start. What happened there?
Well, yeah, they had. I think so Paul did a count in,
Yeah,
and um, Abe started doing his like hi-hat counting,
Yeah.
and Paul kind of came back to the microphone and he said, I pretty much, I might be paraphrasing it, "I buggered that up," or "That was me. Let's just start again." He missed
Ah,
his guitar intro.
good. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
I thought it was very noble of him to take, control of that, like, if you could shove it off and say that was Rusty's fault or Brian was meant to, come in on the bass.
Yeah.
I
So
was
he
sur
owned it. He owned it then. Yeah. Good man. Good man. Uh, Great song. He loves Let It Be, doesn't he? The album. I'm talking about the album Let It
yeah.
Be. I don't think there's any songs of his on there that he hasn't done live
You know, I
at
think
one
he's
time or another.
but, yeah, no, I think last time we saw him, I've got a feeling might have been earlier in the set list,
Yeah.
but I think now with the, accompaniment that he's got, that's, yeah, made at the start of the encore for something to be excited about. Um,
Yeah.
and, yeah, on the accompaniment, I think that was, well, it was a bit emotional having seen because we went, like I said earlier, we went to the, uh,
Rooftop.
yeah, the rooftop gig the night before, and seeing that footage the night before, which is, pardon the pun, of the night before. Uh,
Mm.
I said, because I remember we were watching the film and that that exact footage came up of John from the side, and I said to my mum, I said, "Just remember that, remember that for tomorrow night." And, you know, seeing the 2 of them singing together is, yeah, that's really special, I think. And I
Mm.
think he enjoys it as much as the crowd enjoys it,
Yeah.
being able to sing
Yeah.
next to him.
I mean, we kind of well, I've seen footage of that, and obviously he did it at Glastonbury, and when it was broadcast uh at Glastonbury, that there were the cameras panned on the crowd, and it was the thing that I really loved about Glastonbury is that it wasn't his audience. I mean, there is a kind of a little bit of uh, a middle-aged edge to Glastonbury these days, because normally the at least one of the headliners is an old person or an old band or something, but it focused on a lot of young people while they were doing the thing with John on the screen, and people were crying. Like, they kind of got. I love the fact that they got the importance of it.
Yeah.
I think that was really important, and to see it live, it must have been amazing, right?
Oh, yeah, I think just when Paul turned around and you're waiting, like, those of us who knew were waiting for him to come up
Yeah,
and see it kind of, merge onto the screen, that was just awesome, and to hear John Lennon at a Paul McCartney gig was,
yeah,
that was really exciting. Um,
yeah.
you might edit this out, I'm not sure, but on the Glastonbury thing, I didn't realise it was that they had that middle age edge to it these days. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about in the audience. There's like a lot of people, a lot of middle-aged people go to Glastonbury. They,
Yeah,
they, I'm not sure if they stay in tents or they check in at five-star hotels and come in each day for the gigs. But because people my age, we've been brought up on pop music, and
yeah,
uh, so there's a lot of people my age that don't give a shit about pop music anymore. It was a thing when they were young, but there's us. There's lots of us that haven't really grown up, and we still get a buzz out of buying a record, and
yes.
uh,
Because was it
and that.
Elton John this year?
Sorry.
Was it Elton John that headlined
It
the
was. It
yeah,
was, and the thing about Glastonbury is, because when the tickets go on sale before anyone has been announced, so you're just taking a punt. You don't know who's going to be on, and they sell out within an hour, something
yeah,
like that. got like 200,000 tickets are gone within an hour, and nobody knows who they're going to see. So that's what I mean by it's not, it's not necessarily his audience.
Yeah.
People that are his audience have probably bought tickets off people that I thought Paul McCartney. I'm putting these up for sale, and that's how these people have got tickets. But yeah, I mean, it is mostly young people, but there are quite a lot of middle-aged people as well that go to Glastonbury.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Okay, so birthday.
That was one I was, because I knew he did it, but I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Because that's another one that's like She's a Woman. It's got that gritty voice that he used.
Yeah, throaty thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but he managed to. Yeah, as far as I thought, he did pretty well. And he did the before the song started. This is for anyone who's got a birthday anytime this year. Oh, thanks.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, there was a few times the crowd, like you could hear laughter from like the entire crowd. I thought that was really cool. He really does have the whole crowd wrapped around his little finger, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? He does. Sergeant Pepper reprise. On its own this time.
Well, originally I thought he was going to be doing the proper Sergeant Pepper because they'd listed that at the Adelaide show as just Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So I was really excited.
Right. Okay.
I don't know when the last time he did that was. I think maybe did he do it with U2 in 2005 or something at the
Live 8. He did
it.
Was it 2000? Was it 2005, 2008? I can't remember now.
Perhaps.
But yeah, he did do that where he does the main song, then there's a big solo in the middle. Well, that's how he used to do it. He used to do the main song, then a big solo in the middle, and then go into the reprise.
Yeah, but no, this time it was just the reprise. It was the same, the 2017 tour. But I was happy with that because he hadn't done it on the US leg, I don't think.
No. Oh, right. Okay. And he's also done it before with just the reprise, but then going into the end, hasn't he?
Yeah, that was the old medley before the Abbey Road came in.
Helter Skelter. Mayhem on stage.
Oh yeah, so he did the Sergeant Pepper's and then Abe does the count in pretty much instantly for Helter Skelter, and I found that I didn't expect him to sound so good on such a hard rock song.
Yeah,
he blew me away on Helter Skelter, and the lights show. I don't know what it was like when you were there. I was concerned that it was going to be the time I found out I'd had epilepsy all my life.
Oh God! Yeah. Oh yeah, the flashing white, the very bright white lights that they put on.
And then the screen at the back was cool because it was like you were going down the roller coaster that they were talking about, like it was just coming at you. But, really enjoyable, and I think a few good photo opportunities where Rusty and Brian come in a bit from the sides to do the opening guitar riff with Paul in between them. I think worked very well, but really impressed by someone 4 times my age able to do something I couldn't consider pulling off.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can take comfort in the fact that this is an exceptional human being. Not everybody is like that at 81.
That's right. Yeah, he's one in
or even 41, to be fair.
Yeah, that's right. Or 28 when he did. No, sorry, he was even younger than that. Wasn't he 26 when he pulled it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Incredible. Okay, so then the final section of the show, the end of the sort of the side 2, the Abbey Road medley. Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, the end.
Yeah, well, I love the Abbey Road medley. I think that's one of the best things the Beatles ever put on a piece of vinyl. I think that's I don't think it's hard to, or I think it's very difficult to dispute that it's not an incredible piece of music. And I think he definitely does it justice when he plays it live. Everything, it just sounds so. Oh, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm sure you know what I mean when it feels like somehow the show's so intimate that it feels like he's singing to you. Like,
Yeah,
just you're one of so many thousand, and yet it's you and him, and he's singing you to sleep with golden slumbers.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and even in the higher register of some of the parts of golden slumbers and carry that weight, I think I think he managed to carry the weight of the song, which was I was very impressed, particularly on Golden Slumbers, just because it's such a sweet song, and he
Mm.
does it so well. And then the end started, and well, my mother's favorite Beatle is Ringo, and so having the drum solo was like awesome for her.
Mm.
And then yet I can't believe he managed to do the "Oh yeah, all right" vocals, because that's really high as well.
It is high, but he normally has Brian and Rusty helping out on that, and Abe, I think, as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't notice. I think I was because we were like where we sat. We were directly in line with the piano, so it's
Mm.
kind of just like looking down the barrel at Paul McCartney at that point. But he did that really well. And then I kept getting nervous because he was taking a little bit of time to get his guitar on, and I thought he's not going to be here for the start of the "Love You" part of the end.
Yeah,
But
if you notice that the drum solo that Abe plays is not quite the same as what Ringo
no,
plays on the album. It's a little bit longer, and he plays it to give Paul the time to get from his piano and get his guitar strapped on, ready for the for the main part of the when they're trading guitar licks and stuff like
yeah,
that. I'm not sure whether it's always the same, or Abe's instructions are just keep playing till I got my guitar on, sort of thing, But
I
uh,
think. And then it was nice because they've all got their own microphones. I think it's cool at the end to see him and Rusty using the same microphone, and you
yeah,
kind of feel like that's what it might have been like to have been one of the Beatles in the room. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It was him
yeah,
and doing that part, and then obviously the guitar solos. That was I think he really impresses me with his guitar skills because you always think of him as the Beatle bass
yeah.
playing. Yeah, Beatle bass playing Beatle. He
Mm.
his guitar skills sometimes I think are a bit overlooked, and I think he played as well as Rusty and Brian for the guitar solos. Although I was particularly impressed with Rusty Anderson's guitar playing throughout the entire concert.
Mm.
Um,
I mean, it's a fantastic band.
yeah, people can like I had my well actually I was saying my mother's friend whose house I went to for tea that night.
Yeah.
He Her friend and her husband went to the gig as well,
Oh, okay.
so we were able to debrief afterwards,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was just, something else, and so then he went into the, "and in the end" part, and that's like my mother's favorite quote from the Beatles,
yeah,
um, and I've got a silver necklace that's got the quote, the "and in the end" quote, um,
yeah.
and so, just hearing it live is just really lovely, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. And
Mm.
when you think about that line, it's obvious.
Mm,
That it's just so true. But
mm.
we didn't know that until the Beatles told us.
Yeah, we had to wait for Paul
It's as
McCartney.
if we had to wait for the
Okay.
Beatles to tell us that
Yeah,
before we actually believed that it was true. And
yeah,
that's the power. That's the
yeah.
power. So if you could sum up this experience in a few sentences, I'm putting you on the spot here, I realize as well. What would you say? What would you say?
Well, I've been telling anyone who will listen that it's like an unmissable experience. Like I said, if
Mm,
you were in Melbourne and you weren't at that concert, my apologies. Like, it was something that you can't. There's no comparison. It's the best concert you'll ever go to,
Yeah.
and I reckon the VIP experience. I've been trying to tell people, if you have to work overtime for 5 weeks to afford it, it's probably going to be worth your time. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just unreal, and I think I've been mulling over the idea of flying up to the Gold Coast to see him on his.
Is that Brisbane? Is that the Brisbane gig?
Yeah, so there's one in Brisbane and one Brisbane and the Gold Coast. I think are only a few hours apart from each
Oh,
other.
right. Okay. Okay.
And I've been thinking about going to that 4th of November show just in case it's his last Australian gig.
Yeah.
But it's just do I put the funds together and then it's just
So presumably, I mean, presumably the show's sold out, right? So if
not the Gold Coast one.
it's not sold out, so you can buy a ticket at face value.
Well, face value versus what Ticketmaster charges when they.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you use Ticketmaster there? Is that
Yeah.
they put all
Great
the
show. Yeah.
they put all the floor seats as in demand. What's meant to sell for $399 sells for $850 or something.
Wow.
That's Australian dollars, by the way. So half.
Yeah. I know.
But no. So it'll be. There are still like. So they added a second Sydney show, apparently for overwhelming demand. And neither of the shows have sold out, but Melbourne's sold out. And so I was like, I feel like we need another Melbourne show.
Yeah. Right. So you could choose then between going to the Gold Coast or going to Sydney.
Yeah, I feel so. I've got exams coming up, university exams. So I've kind of got to pick my spots correctly. I'd be at his tonight if I could be, which is where is that? That's in. I can't remember. It's in New South Wales. It's towards Sydney. Closer to Sydney than here. It's about 10 hours from where I live.
I know. You live in such a huge country.
I couldn't even conceptualize that far in one country.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be good to be there tonight. But I'm sure everyone will enjoy themselves there. But I almost feel like if it is the last time I saw him, I couldn't be happier with the experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, to have the hot sound experience as the final word on my Paul McCartney live gig.
Yeah,
if you want to say it like that.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was you. Just like leave it at that, because you've had like the ultimate experience and just sign off there, or just one more time. Because if it was me, if he was to announce UK dates, or even somewhere desirable to go in Europe, I'd be up for it. Just I've always got this thing, just one more, and I'll be happy.
That'll never go away, though, will it? There's always one more that you'd like.
I suppose so. Right. Well, Boyan, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. You've been an absolute star. Brilliant run through of the gig. We've all got a real good feel of the experience that you've been to, and it's been fantastic. So thank you so much for giving up your time. I'm guessing it's almost about 2 o'clock in the morning where you are now.
Just past 2,
yeah.
No, I was very pleased to. Well, I was honoured to have been chosen to take part in your Got Back tour rundown. I was very excited when I saw the email. I was actually on my way to the city when I saw it, and I thought this just makes the day even better.
Excellent.
So, thank you very much for having me on.
You are more than welcome. The gratitude is all mine. Thanks very much, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks everyone for watching this. Please tell me what you think down in the comments below. If you're going to any of these shows, let me know as well. And I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.